Hey guys, Zan here, and I wanted to talk real quick about mixing, and in particular, mixing volume. I'm not going to get into EQ, I'm not going to get into mastering. Those are two very separate things, and I just don't want to make this a super long video. So the first things I want to talk about within regards to volume is my approach, and I feel some people overlook this approach, and I feel you should do this every time when you're creating songs. So the first thing that I ask myself when I am creating a song is, what do I want to be featured? What do I want the listener to hear? So for this song, in this case, what I wanted the listener to hear were a couple things. I wanted them to kick, the snare. I really wanted these big supersaws I'd created and all these little growls that I had made to be the feature. So let's listen to this real quick, and it should be low enough. The mastering is turned off, never mix with the mastering on. So let's listen. So hopefully what you notice out there were a couple things. One, the kick, the snare, these supersaws when they came in, these growls, those are things I want you to hear. But there's also some other things going on there that are kind of filling out the spectrum and filling out the sound that are required. So we have a few things. Let's stick with the drums. We have the hi-hats. We have some of these fills, which are a little more apparent. These hi-hat opens, this ride right here, these crashes. Then there's a violin that comes in. I have some piano playing in the background to give a little extra harmony. I'm actually turning these up a little bit, they're a little low. So these are all things that are kind of filling out the spectrum. And although you didn't hear them then, they are still audible. And that's how you have to think of things when you're approaching mixing. It's what do I want to be first audible? And then what are the things that are maybe right underneath there that are filling out this spectrum, or maybe adding a layer but aren't overtaking this kind of top level in this case, which I think at the top level is kind of, the bass and the saws and the kick, but they're adding to the song. So let's listen for those things. Let me skip ahead here. So you can hear the piano. You can hear the piano just a little bit. You can hear kind of its twang. And you hear, let me turn this down a little. And you hear the violin. Let me turn them up. You really don't hear it. It's one of those things where, hey, I could probably take it out, but it's not harming anything, and it's giving maybe a little bit more high-end content on the upbeat where I don't have it. So it's, and like I said, it's not really harming anything, so it's okay. And same with these hi-hats, open and close. I mean, I'm not, they're pretty low in volume, but they're providing a little extra speed, quickens up the tempo. So I'm going to kind of wrap this up because we're getting a little long, but really what I want you to think about, really the goal of this was, how do I want to think about, how am I approaching mixing and with the volume? What do I want to be featured? So think of it as kind of levels, top level, what do I want to be heard clearly? The kick, the saws, in this case, the bass. Second level, what do I want to be maybe just underneath that layer? What do I want to be kind of a nugget, kind of a little treasure that you find of sound? Maybe not featured, but is still adding harmonic or rhythmic content to the whole. And then third, underneath there, it's like a pyramid almost, is kind of this bass, what's providing this kind of background, is this ambient noise that's filling out, the spectrum or maybe the 3D space that the song is inhabiting. So those are kind of things you want to think about, and it'll help you in creating a fuller sound. But you have to be careful, and it's going to take practice. You really need to make sure that, the atmospheres on the bottom of that third level are not destroying the content of that second or first level. And it'll take practice, but I think for most people this will definitely help you when approaching how to mix with the volume. So I will get into EQ at another time, and mastering, but hopefully this is kind of the first approach that I take. And please subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to help people. If you can get the word out, that'd be great. I know I get asked a lot of questions from people about how to do things, and that's why I started this. So your feedback, your support is greatly appreciated. Until next time, thanks guys.